Alright, I'm out here in the wilderness, and today I'm going to be replacing some hardware on an old climb, so I'm doing a rebolting job. These are the top anchors here. As you can see, they're a little bit rusty. It's extremely windy today, so sorry for the noise. I still think these are probably okay, but I actually installed some concrete screws here because, as you can see, where these anchors are currently has a tendency for the rope to get stuck in the crack, so with that location it's going to be better. But for right now, I'm just using these because I'm doing a single line refill anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and go down, replace some old 5 pieces, and come back up. Alright, now I've rappelled down, and I'm here at the first bolt, which is still pretty high off of the ground, but it seems like a reasonable place to clip from, because you got this big wide crack. I'm debating I may end up putting a lower bolt for safety's sake, but before I start retrobolting, I'll start with rebolting. So this here is a 5-piece, I do believe, I'm not 100% sure, but that's a 9/16 head, and you can see it's always best to start with the first bolt because you can use the previous bolt for directionals. I've also been lucky enough to find a pretty solid natural clipping point, and I'm also using a hook for getting me a little bit closer to this bolt here. This area right here, there's a chassis slab that I just broke off. You can see it down there, fell pretty far, and it looks like there's some more stuff around here that's a little bit sketchy, so I'm gonna see if some of this will come off as well. Just use this aid hook to see if it goes or not. Here's a little one. And let's see, a couple little pieces. Okay, I think the rest of this looks, well, good enough. All right, so let's break out. So I got my bag of goodies here. The trick to being successful at removing hardware is having the right tools. So I'm sure we'll find out what I forgot to bring today. It's always something. Okay, let's see. I need 2 hands to get enough leverage on this. Okay, so I've opted for a method of bolt extraction known as redneck core drilling. As you can see, I've drilled a few 1/4-inch holes around that broken off stud. So I'm going to continue by squirting some water in there and trying to wiggle it loose with some pliers. All right, I finally core drilled all around this bolt to the point that I could get it to wiggle a little bit, and I think I should be able to pull it out now. Alright, there we go. Piece of crap old bolt. So after a disaster such as that, having to core drill that, I'm going to put this extra long bolt in there. As you can see, it's going to be a good bit deeper than that hole was to begin with, and it's going to be surrounded by hard epoxy rubber, or 2-part epoxy. I'll probably use Liquid Rock 500 for this job, and I think it's going to come out perfect. Alright, and here's how it's going to sit after notching the hole, as one does with a glue-in like this. This is a fix 160 millimeter long, which is a little over 6 inches, about 6.5 inches or so. And as you can see, it can settle in pretty deep there, but I'm not actually going to have it set in that deep when I glue it. I'm going to have it set in about right there. Maybe right there, yeah. And pointing straight up. And that's it for this one. Now I'm going to go onto this next bolt over here. Hopefully it's easier. Alright, so I've had very little luck. This bolt is pretty much just as tight as the last one. As you can see, I've already core drilled around it a little bit, and now I'm going to see if I can get it to move. Even just wiggling it a little bit might help. Alright, let's see. I'm going to see if it breaks off or not. Alright, great success. I got it to start moving. Wow, look at how much that expanded in there. Wow. Let's see if I can get a good shot of this. Yep, pretty nasty. And we still got some pieces in there, so I'm going to try to extract those next. Alright, gonna give this bad boy another good squirt of water. Let's see if I can wiggle it loose. Alright, so I've drilled and mangled this sleeve up pretty bad. And there it is. One nasty old sleeve. And we should still have the stud still in there. Alright, finally got that piece out of the end. So that's everything. And that hole is almost just as ugly as the first one, but with a long enough bolt, it should be okay. Okay, we're lucky. This last bolt isn't nearly as nasty as the first two. Probably added much later. Let's squirt a little water in there. And let's see if we can fish it out with just a regular old hook. Oh yeah, last bolt, and nice and notched, didn't have to do any core drilling. I think that this bolt that I took out was not nearly as old as the other ones. This snake blocking my path. Come on, get on. Get on, snake. Get on. Get on. Oh, that snake angry. Okay, you can stay there. Bye-bye. Alright, I'm out here in the wilderness again. Today's gluing day, so I brought my Liquid Rock 500 and this big long glue nozzle. So I'm going to go ahead and put in these two Hilti. Yep, see, that's just straight white material. I'm going to go until I see gray, starting to turn gray there. Alright, yep, nice and gray now. Now that's the color that I'm looking for. I'm going to squirt a little bit right here so I can validate that it cures later on. Just a teeny couple little drops. And I'm done with this rock, so it goes down the cliff. Good luck, everyone down there. Just kidding, there ain't nobody down there. Alright, that's a good bit in the hole. Put that to my side for a second. Grab this bolt. And you want to screw it in, like so. I'm going to fill it this a little bit. And I like Liquid Rock 500 because it's a pretty close color to the rock around it, but it does dry with a slight green tint, which is kind of, well, throw it on, try to camouflage that bolt a little bit. And screw washer and hanger. Alright, here's my first glue in. As you can see, it came out very nice. You can see the assembly date and the up arrow, which I like about the fixed glue-ins, and didn't use too much extra glue, so should be pretty good. I am going to go ahead and camouflage it a little bit. See if I can reach into my bag of dirt. Maybe a little bit more from the bottom. I think that's going to be pretty good once it dries up. Alright, and there's the next placement. As you can see, I had to fill in a little bit of glue around it to kind of fill up the area that I core drilled, but the penetration on that bolt is really great. No air pockets at all, and and the glue around it should mostly just be cosmetic because the bell of the bolt is actually contacting rock on both sides. So any direction or any force on that, first of all, that bolt's rated at 30 pounds, so it's not going to flex from somebody falling, and even if it did, it would be fully supported by rock, so pretty proud of that one. Alright, and there is the last one. Came out pretty great, pretty pleased with it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some dirt over it to camouflage it, and call it a day.